All right. Let me get my back screen straight. All right. Welcome. This is Dynasty, the podcast show. I am your host, Ira Bush. I just want to say, man, thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who, put some time into actually listening to what I have to say. It's been a very tough, it's been a very different, I won't say it's been just this month. It's actually been a minute. I'll say for I won't consider 2018 a bad or 2019 a bad year or really 2020. Let's just say when it came down to me making the decision to be a real adult and to not play around, it happened around like right when they started seeing the world was going to end basically with the COVID stuff. I really wasn't playing anymore. I didn't think that personally, but that's the propaganda that America put out. So, I kind of turned it up a little bit. That's when I first committed to purchasing my first two LLCs. One was Elite Moving, and then the other one was Elite Youth Association came first. So the Elite Youth Association is a nonprofit based off my coaching career. And it's still to me, it's still a viable nonprofit. I didn't mess up my face card as a coach. I don't care people, what propaganda, what hate group, what disassociated person who doesn't like me anymore, anybody who feel any type of way, my face in the community, my face as a coach would never be smeared for my players or people that I competed against as a coach or player, even a player. So that progression of Elite Youth Association has only grown. Your energy and hate only made it bigger. I might have to regroup and recoup something different. And I don't think I'm gonna call it different, something different. I might have to redo it by, trademarking it off a little bit, whatever it may be. But Elite Youth Association is official. There's nothing unofficial about the players that I coach. All you had to do to be a part of Elite Youth Association is let me have coached you, and that's in sports. And the object was to combine, you know, players to have I really wanted to grow into them being like young adults and them just coming back to the community in a manner of summer they come visit, or putting their children in my after school programs, or eventually I really wanted them to have just one meeting per week, and then like train on weekends, and eventually build to a community center. That's what my first vision was. I'm not saying this because I don't mind people knowing. A lot of people don't have the patience that I have. I already built a status and platform as a coach. You have to put in time, and even if somebody duplicate, copycat, it's going to be if it's out of if it's out of the same energy of care that I had, it won't be a diss towards me at all. Cause I don't have no ill will for the players that I coach ever. I will never go against them. I don't care if it was 1 year that I coached you. Now, if I just trained you like on some, you asked for help and then you quit or you halfway did something, you can't even imagine. You actually have to go through the whole process of being a real player of mine to understand the winning process. Like, it doesn't happen in one day. It would never happen in one day. The winning, I've never been a loser. So, if I lose, like, you ever heard that saying, you lost the battle, but you win the war. My record of winning wars is like almost undefeated at this point in my life. I don't consider myself losing. I'm never gonna quit. It might take me longer to win certain battles, but I'm not gonna quit. That's basically what Elite Youth Association is off. And everybody that's associated with Elite Youth elite, meaning you have to withstand the test of time, meaning you have to stand on what you said, stand on what you put in. So if you put in halfway work, you're gonna get halfway results, and then you really not gonna be officially on my team anyways. And it's already big. It's not even, I don't even have to do much. I don't know how to explain it. So, everybody that I coached, everybody that was on my football teams, little high school, little league, everybody didn't make the cut of Elite Youth Association. You made the cut of the football team, but you didn't make the cut for Elite Youth Association. Keyword elite. I don't accept everybody as elite. And this is stuff that I say as I coach you. You know what I'm saying? You might could build your way to elite. Like, seriously. Like, everybody has that opportunity. All it takes is consistency, and being a part of the winning. If you winning, then you understand what the process was. You know what I'm talking about? So the crazy thing is like, I call it association is okay. A keyword to the associate. Let's look up associate. I call it association because it was the title of my whatever. But let's look up the root word associate. Because this was a word we used in my neighborhood when I was growing up. It's like not being your friend, but being somewhere you have to hang around type stuff. This was like some funny junk when we was coming up. Associate, connect someone or something with something else in one's mind. A partner or a colleague in business or at work. A person with limited or subordinate membership of an organization. These are definition of associate. So, it's very high. This is very proper wording. This is proper wording that I've been using since, I don't know, 9 years old, 10 years old. Like I said, in my neighborhood. So this is not an overnight type of situation, and this is wording in English dictionary. So, anybody around me, I'm talking about everybody that I know that was around me, from my mother, my father, my stepfathers, the people that coached me in youth. These are the words that was around me. You know what I'm trying to say? So these are words that they know that I'm used to saying. So it's nothing. It's not a secret. So I want people to be original. It's lack of originality. It's so easy for me to come up with ideas, come up with things to help people grow, help the world grow, help with community grow, society, whatever. But it's so many hateful people that want me to be in a subjugated area of life of struggle, and I'm not gonna never feel that way ever in my life. I'm trying to be nice about it because I want to continue to grow as a person as well. So, it's a lot going on. That's basically my intro for this. Shout out to my child Naya. Hopefully you are enjoying your summer. I love you. Hope it's your dad is care. Your dad, look, everybody, the 2 out of 3 here all been around me most of the summer. So, stuff still productive. Stay productive, stay active. Make sure you're cooking your food, cleaning your food properly. Use your lime, use your vinegar. Clean your chicken right. Don't be eating too much out. Processed food. Hopefully this message get to her. Eat you some fruit. Eat your strawberries, grapes. Stay active. That's pretty much my message for her. Like I said, it's been a very different year. This is actually a tough. I can't explain. Some people don't. It don't take. I've had these type of being around somebody one time for a very short period and having a big effect on them. This happens a lot. Just how you say, how you talk to people, and like I said, people that are basically people that have. It's been a tough year. It's just been a. I can't. I'm an adult, so I can't stop move. I can't stop my mind, my train of thought of going forward. That's all I can say. I'm not in my complete life, in my personal life. It's not all bad. I don't have a, the only, like I said, I don't have a, might be somebody jealous of me that I don't talked to or that I've been in a relationship, but I don't have relationship issues. I don't have no. I'm a single human being. I don't have time to. No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I didn't even like I tell y'all. I want to be having something strong with a woman and be in a relationship or date whatever it may be at the time. But it's like I'm not trying to go out here in this climate to like set myself up for failure type of thing. It's been like that for a long time for me. I don't know what everybody else be on, but I ain't going all out, and then you going halfway 1%. That's counterproductive. So I'm the thing I'm focusing on right now is establishing what team I'm going to be coaching this year during football season. That's a quick story. Not the distance, because I might still coach out there. I did the background check. This is Palm Beach County, one of the weirdest, stupidest counties in America or in Florida. Okay, I've been here. They call it having playing, being on different sides or whatever stupid shit is going on with with the Gulf Coast and the Atlantic coast of Florida. Okay, I've been here since I've been in. Mind you, I earned every stripe I ever had in South Florida. Every stripe since I've been 15 on the court, on the field, on whatever you want to call. I ain't never been intimidated by nobody. You could check my stats. You could check my practice stats, definitely, when it comes to practice. And I ain't never, man, I don't bitched up people 6'5", 270 pounds on the football team in Boca High. Bitched up, for real. Anybody can get it, for real. I ain't even lying to you. So these are facts. I ain't never been intimidated by nobody at that school when I played over there. So that shit be crazy how people are sorry as fuck. And I definitely did the playground. Team center definitely in Boca. I did too many people on that court. I don't know what to tell everybody. Nobody can beat me my size and height over there at Boca. That I don't even know. So those stripes was earned as soon as I came over here in the area that I roam at still. Now moving on. After I graduated, I left from my hometown because I went back with my father, back and forth with my mom in high school. I didn't mind that. I need to spend time with both of them. I need to help both. They both had stupid people around them that I call them stupid. Well, they wasn't committed to my parents like they should have been because both of these are high-ranking people in the world. That ain't my business. They do what they make the rules. They got the strongest kids. They got the most intelligent intel from elders. This is facts. Not that there's nobody that was around me at the time when they were dating and the other kids. This is have to be said in public forum because people don't know how to communicate properly when it comes to real life. I don't have time to even bicker back and forth with people. This is affect me, bro. So my sister. So people think I'm against my family and stuff. This is stupid. Nobody outranks my family. Nobody outrank my mother. Nobody outrank my grandmother. Nobody outrank my aunts. Then it goes down to the men and the young children, right with the mothers of the family. Nobody outranks them. Then it's the fathers and my brothers in my family. Then people that I make connections with understand this already. It never was no other way. And I do have I would my family, my friends are not low ranking people in the world. I don't. This is if it's up to me, they not considered low ranking to me. And I don't want nobody to tag along and say, "Oh, he's my friend." I've coached people my age. Like I was the youngest coaching, like head in charge. Like I was literally in the office meeting with people. This is all connected. That's why I started off talking about what I'm connected to. So what I started, not nobody else. This is the idea I had since I was 18. Maybe actually, it really formulated 11 years old, and then I didn't resurface this till I started graduating. When I started graduating, I already had this mindset made up. This is already formulated since I've been a young child, a young adolescent. So nobody's stopping nothing. I got I went to 3-4 community colleges in Florida. I'm not really tripping about no. This is the recent one. I don't really even like school. I had to finish, and I'm not stressing. I'm not struggling. It's this. I have enemies at the highest level. The government, schools, the judiciary system in my own home area. I was born in Pinellas County. The sheriff's people and police officers in Palm Beach. I have those type of enemies. I don't have. You can't be street family. What is street people? I'm not even. I'm not even paying attention to y'all. Like y'all is what you want me to do. Like this is not my. I don't care. I have to. I have to. I have to make sure these people get knocked over because they illegal as fuck. Like they flagrantly foul line, need to get out the way type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've voted since I've been 18 years old. I don't even see. They done stole my income tax. This is the truth. I can't make this up. I filed, put it in the mailbox. UPS, the real mailbox people put that in the mail to a different state. Address complete, regular. These people ain't giving me my income tax. Like this is real life. Like it ain't nothing to audit. I ain't make that much. I didn't even find my child got is next county over. I don't need to explain to y'all what that situation is. I don't have to. It's flagrant. I don't care what you don't outrank me. I come from a high ranking family. I have the name of my grandfather. I do not need nobody to say what kind of rank I need. Is in the form of being a United States citizen. I do not need nobody else say so. Nothing. This is facts. I'm dead serious about this. I'll be so aggravated with it. Me and my cousin stayed on the side of him. You know what I'm saying? Like we did not veer at all. It was no in between or questioning it. It was like literally our coach, he worked for the school. Like what service did we didn't do since we was young. He started when he was 19, 20 years old at the YMCA. I was over here summer camp coach, the whole 9 yards. So I was 18, 19. What I don't know what to tell everybody. So I get agitated about that. It wasn't no, you know, if you don't really want to be associated with winning, that's not my problem. We gonna get it definitely at the end. And we ain't even, that's not even a thought. That's not like a, it's frustrating talking about this because it's like, I be like, damn, people really think I'm supposed to be associated with negative. And I could be on that complete opposite side. I could be on the complete, like on some whole very like I can't even explain the complete opposite that I'm actually in and that I could be on. You know, if that makes sense to people. But we're gonna move on. Like I said, associate beliefs is still a thing. It's not, you know, I'll trademark it whenever I feel like it. I ain't really stressing it. I got other stuff that I did for my child that involves the word elite. So that's what we is over here. So it's I'm a young adult still. I'm not even close to being old. So I'm in my prime as an adult. This is prime years for a father and parenting. Like this is real life. So I have to turn it up way a little bit more. I'm only like operating at 20. I talk about this all the time, operating at like 25% of myself, just speaking and communicating like this. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more in August to about 40, 50%, 60, if depending on the outcome. And then I'm gonna come, you know, then I'm gonna put some more, and then I'm gonna keep growing in on you because it gotta get handled just like it is. I want people to feel they don't even know how I could do people like when it comes to me talking and flexing it in this manner. This is the manner I'm talking about. So hey, let's go on. It's a lot going on in the politics. Let's move on. Enough about me. I know that was a little long, but stuff just started clicking in my head. Like I could really go in on some other junk, but we gonna let that be. I spent too long on it. My bad. Nah, real talk, man. But anyways, okay. Y'all know what's going on. We got a few things going on in the political world. Now, okay, before I go political, community outreach, basketball practice today, 7:30. We won last week. Y'all know the story. That's the only thing going on. I probably missed a few school board meetings in Broward and in Palm Beach, but I'm not stressing them. They frauds. I just basically told y'all how aggravated I am talking about these people and these fraudulent committees that they have. They be stealing money from children so long they think it's normal. They've been doing voodoo on children and all kind of craziness going on in the school boards. They forgot the reason why we even have these institutions as schools is based off the agreement they made with the Native Americans and African descendant people. They forgot. So once they got comfortable and started finessing and stealing in today's modern day, because it started really bad and it started really in the 60s and 70s, to be honest. Like after that war that they didn't need to have and they attacked Asia, they had to do, they had to pay some way. So I can't really go into it. I already figured it out, and I ain't figured it out enough. I gotta go visit Asia, Africa. Hopefully, I'm protected and get the same respect and then and the just do that I would like to. What's the word I'm looking for? Hopefully I get the response that I want when I go visit these continents and the countries inside of them. I learned. It's funny how was it Epcot when we went in fifth grade? Okay, fifth grade. Okay, it's a place called Epcot. I don't know if it's in other states. It probably is. It's a place called Epcot in Florida where you go visit. Okay, they got set up of countries. They make a little passport stamp where you go visit these places. I think it was Epcot. I feel like it was okay. We did go to Epcot though, so that was fifth grade, and it was so different in that time. Like I say, my school went all out for us, and I went to summer camp. It was the same type of energy, so I don't remember being bored in summer or in school. I went to year-round school, so we basically that pretty much put us on game about just make sure you travel and you see different things in the world. And I was raised in a very my family is culture. Like we don't really, whatever, America got a way of just trying to make you act out what you see on TV. That's why propaganda is what it is. But we use it just to laugh. If you're emotional, you might cry on something. I remember being young watching the Titanic for the first time. I tell this story all the time because it make me laugh. I thought, okay, I was at my grandmother's house, and she, like I said, we had every movie, VCR movie. We still got a lot of VCR movies over there. I say we as a family, and she she bought the converter and all, so some of the movies done got changed. Her VCR that she paid for, they got changed to CDs. So, and these old school movies, old school, new school, all the way up till they went to DVDs. She was collecting still on DVDs. But I'm laughing because I remember that Titanic we was watching. It was actually a good movie, but it was so it had that little sad, somber energy, and we was raining, and we was there. It felt like the summer. I feel like it was summer. That's how many days we was over there. So we had fish and grits. I think that was the meal. It was evening meal too. So we all just sit around. We all was in her room watching the movie. Fish was so good. I couldn't even chew the food. So I'm watching movie. I'll be more careful. I swear, she always say, "Let's be mindful of the little fish bones." And I'm like, okay, I'm going to I'm sitting in my spot. I sit on the floor. I eat the grits. I'm grubbing. Oh Lord, I got a whole fish bone. I'm talking about the bone about this thick. It was this long, right in the middle. If you everybody probably had that experience of when you get that fish bone in your throat. This was not a little piece of fish. I said, oh, stop the movie. I'm talking about all 7 of us was there. Only people that was not there was our older cousins. But everybody was there. I was like, I don't know if I said it, but I felt like and I don't even cry, so I don't know if I cried or not, but I was like, Lord, I was like, man, that was the funniest job. I don't know, I feel like I think the only person, okay, I think the girls was laughing, and my cousin was like, "You all right?" Like he still was eating. That's what I was like. It was funny because it was just like one of those moments we was all chilling, and we was still pretty young though. We that was just like we was all close, and I would never go against them. Definitely like that. Those are the moments where I can't even explain how funny it is now. and how serious I thought it was. I'm over here biting the boy, a fishbowl right there. But man, that was good. That's I was just talking about when we first watched Titanic. That's how I remember the movie so well. And then that memory of just laughter now and the seriousness of it then, that was too much. And you know, adults probably don't experience that already. So they looking at it like at their point, they wasn't stressing it. Me, I was like, Lord, it was one of those movies. It was funny. But yeah, man, I just want to know, like, okay, we're gonna move on. This I got off track. I was just telling a quick story. I like to, I don't want to keep it too, because we're finna get into politics. And we're gonna talk a little sports today. I was just giving y'all a rundown of some stuff. But before we go into, the whole all these news stories that's going on, we're gonna break down the 2 executive orders that they made in the 10th of July. And, I like to do this because, I want to keep y'all informed on what they trying to change. You know what I'm saying? They got a new reason why to sign an executive order every day. They have not fully even the comprehension level, I don't know what they want people to comprehend or to be following behind them, and to execute the whatever plan is. The plan that they have is not a well put out plan. And I'm gonna play a clip by one of the representatives where they talking about common sense ain't that common in this whole whatever they got going on right now. So, they really ain't trying to make people be on the accord with them. I really think this is what people who are arrogant happens to people who are arrogant. When somebody when somebody gets a position back after they feel like they got cheated, and they're not this, I can't. One of the main things my mother taught me about politics is don't go against the people that are in charge. I'm not going against it. This is opinionated video, opinionated show mostly, and I try to put out as many facts as y'all put out. Whatever y'all said, that's what we gonna put out. Then it's my job to break it down. It's my job to look from my perspective and tell you what I think of it should. I don't even tell you what it looked like. I just told you what my look is. You gotta actually put your people on, stop hating, let me in the door fully, and you ain't even gotta invest. I can figure that out. I'm gonna figure that out for real. My child is gifted. I ain't stun you. That's all I can tell you. And my child, my nieces and nephews, they all gifted. I don't really have to do nothing, but I want them to be in such a high place that they don't even look at me sideways about how I'm speaking. I want somebody connected to them or somebody connected to be the president running somewhere, somebody set something up in Africa or Asia and we ain't even studying all this flobbery propaganda junk. You know what I'm saying? They just, we ain't even, we already, if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. And I got some other stuff that I got that I ain't even gonna talk about no more. When I gave it out, it looked like they was kind of copy and hate at the same time. I can't tell you the example. But and if I talk about it too much, they're gonna think I'm mad at them, and it ain't even that deep. You gotta execute the plan still. The person who came up with the idea is why you don't get the full results that you think you're supposed to get. People have to understand that when you try to slice somebody out of their intelligence, you will never. It's like, when you got a car and you got an engine, you got that V8, you got that high octane, and you be like, this what they did when they ran off on me. Look, they got the nice, it looked good. Stars, lights, but you know what the engine at? Here. Stay where I was. I went in, you know what I'm saying? I ran in, I became the what do you call it? The manufacturer factory of engines. That's what I started doing. They can make it look how they want it to look, but the engine's still getting processed. And it ain't nothing to me because like I'm just using that as a metaphor talk. I ain't giving out my engine to nobody. It's very you gotta be worth something for real for me to even step down to even give you some. This is free. This is some of the freest game I gave in a long time. You probably could get it on something that I'm saying, but I don't talk about this stuff often. So, and this is me personally, and I ain't give you too much anyway. It's already the process of what I call myself as a coach, I'm a coach. It is what it is. I ain't really stressing it. I'm not competing with nobody. You got to catch up. And then if you doing something not the same as me, man, like I said, what is episode 56? you gotta come a little bit harder. This ain't even, man. It ain't nothing. It really ain't. Now, I be having so much stuff that I be wanting to say, but it's like I can't say too much on YouTube, or mine is a private session all completely. Like I said, if you ain't a member, you ain't a member. They really ain't getting too much. And then it's so funny how much game I give people that been around me, like on some coaching junk or some player coach junk. It's not just sports, like for real. It's really like on some guidance. And hopefully you make the right decision at the end. That would really be on. And it ain't even no fake well-wishing type junk. It ain't no fake well-wishing. A lot of people that are very successful, not just off what I say, but just the compilation of being around the proper people. That's just what it is. Now, okay, let's go on in. First thing, because somebody like the way I talk about people trying to steal my tune, like I literally had a whole thought process, and it just right there. That's somebody monitoring what I say. That's somebody hating on how I say it. But it's just jealousy. It's just envy. It's like you need to find something to do. I hate that. I cannot stand that. People have no real authenticity. Is that the word? Authenticity. Yeah, authenticity. However you say it. They don't really have that. They don't have it. It's like something missing. Like I don't need nothing. When it comes to coming up with something, I don't need nothing. I'm really sitting here. What I'm talking, I probably spent talking to y'all today. I probably wasted like 7-8 minutes because my train of thought is a lot. But people want to take that knowledge, that information, and have it for themselves, and they don't even need it. They're miserable people. They're miserable souls. They practice in hate, and we out here showing love. Now, first executive order we're gonna break down extending the modification of the reciprocal tariff rates. And that book finna get dropped. The book gonna be so raw because like I'm finna just it's gonna be based off my podcast. And I'm not even giving my first book gonna be strictly on some positivity type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not even gonna be negative at all. So, it's just gonna be based on it's just gonna basically what fuels me to be who I am, basically, and it's gonna be a poem book. Now, I don't care how many people don't have the same experience as me, and I had a great childhood. So I talk about this all the time. I don't look down on my childhood at all. I had strong friends. It was not a joke on my playground. It was not. We was not. I don't remember. Like I'm talking about nobody. You couldn't even sit around. It was not even negative. It was just on something you couldn't even be around. You had to go stay in the house. You either outside, you in the house. That's how it was. It wasn't none of that. And it got. They know what street, road, front of the house was, where it was, the latest, the most, man. I'm talking about, yeah, I couldn't even, man. Stop playing. I'm talking about 3 years, 4 years straight. It was like that. It really wasn't no joke. It was like, it wasn't. Because we started on the part and then we come bring it all the way back at the end of the night. And it wasn't, and it wasn't no, shoot, the road was a good half a mile. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no joke. So, hey, y'all get it. Take it how you want to take it. It wasn't even no negative jump when I was there. So, I'm talking in a positive type energy right now. I'm not even talking about it. I'm just talking about how the competition and the energy was behind it. So, let me go on because I don't want my live on here to not get the important information. I'm just talking because I started talking about myself today. And I really wasn't even intending to talk about myself. I really want y'all to understand that there's so much stuff going on in the political world. No, don't keep your focus on. Keep your 3D glasses on. There's a lot going on. But let's go into the executive order extending the modification of reciprocal tariff rates by the authority vested in the president and constitutional laws of the United States of America, including International Energy Economic Powers Act, the National Emergency Section 604 Trade Act 1974. And they're bringing up the Trade Act in 1974. This is the biggest thing that happened in Asia. They made that big deal with Asia, then Africa. They all was involved. They really short-sighted Africa, but Asia got the big end of the stick. They can't really short-side Africa. They really be like they was basically trying to blindside them again with this act. But with the resources, with going over there, poaching their animals, selling their animals, all that rug and all that weirdo voodoo they were doing, killing all them animals. Y'all know I ain't go yet. When I go, then I could break it down a little bit more for you. That way they coming, yeah, they gonna figure it out. But they gotta really understand that matters in a society. You can't go out there doing all, and then people were selling out already at the time, so they thought they could do it. And then when they added on, it brought that negative energy from slave time. I can't even tell you what it really is. That technology done made them figure it out. They can't really trust the people going over there that don't look like them, and they barely can trust the people that look like them that been here too long. You know, hopefully I still could go because I want to go for real. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I know I got, you know, I was supposed to be okay over there. That's the type of energy it is. So, you know, America's so they so messed up. I can't even tell you like how it was formulated, and I don't really want to diss it, but it's like I'm still here. I got children born here, so hopefully everything get worked out. Because there's so many opposite ass people still that think we got to go back to when they was hanging people from trees and burning people's churches and houses and flying airplanes and dropping bombs over their towns. You know, this stuff happened often in America. So, you know, they don't want to, this happened in the 1900s. So this was less than 100 years ago. So they really not understanding that this is like, oh, let's shoot past that. Let's forget about those prohibition days when it was every man for themselves, and they want people to still feel like they ain't treating it like that right now. So it is what it is. Let's continue. In Executive Order, April 2nd, 2025, regulating imports with reciprocal tariff rectify trade practices and contribute to large, persistent annual United States goods. I found the conditions reflected in large, persistent annual U.S. goods and trade deficit constitute an unusual and extraordinary threat to national security and economy of the United States that has its source in a whole and substantial part outside the United States. I declare a national emergency with respect that threat. To deal with the threat, I expose additional and vulnerable duties to deem necessary and appropriate. Section 4C, Executive Order 14257, provides that should any trading partner take significant steps to remedy non-reciprocal trade agreements and align sufficiently with the United States economic to decrease the limit in scope and duties imposed under this order. Now, let's continue. They're still reiterating all these executive orders that they signed. So something ain't getting done that he wants to get done in these trade. But you got the original act in 1974. You can't go against Africa and Asia. That's the common sense part of it. You can't go against them two countries. We little as fuck. We'll get blowed the fuck up, and then everybody gonna be shooting bombs everywhere after we get blowed up because we don't sold everybody guns and bombs. Like, what are you not comprehending? You can't, little ass United States, there's 50 places in Africa and Asia like that. You cannot do that, sir. Use your parental, use your dome. You already made the agreement in 1974, and that was just the part that we was coming into peace. Y'all was fighting for 300 years already. What is y'all doing? Like, this shit is retarded. I don't even want to read this no more. All right, let's continue. In the executive order of April 2025, the tariff relates trading partner and a period of 90 days after this is blah 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 blah. I don't want to talk about this man no more. I don't even know why he making any, like, what is this? I don't even, y'all know I really was like in a class where we was learning how to write these type of planes, multiple things. I'm talking about, like, this is not making no sense. This is the ignorant stuff I'm seeing. Like, I don't want to hear no more executive orders about trade acts We've been trading. This is what America. We don't need to write no more rules of trading. Trade. You either agree or disagree. You agree to not trade. This is basic stuff. 1 + 1 = 2. You got something I want. They got something we want. Let's trade. That's it. All these rules, all this stealing, all this fraud, all this paper fake money shouldn't even been involved in the first place. It's goods. The reason why we are in debt because it's this fucking little. It's no resources. Y'all kill orange trees just to move to a different state. Then y'all doing cockamamie ass, man. These people don't burnt down land, burnt down. You see over there in California, they don't stole it when they had the gold rush. They went to stealing. They went to putting up borders, and then they over there pouring bleach and they over there on meth and stuff. Now they don't know what to do. They're fried because they did all that evil stuff. They don't know what to do. They out here pissing on themselves, literally. I'd be seeing that what I look for. That what it look like to me. Out here trying to steal people internal energies. Out here giving people metal shots since they've been children, just to control their mind, just to say that we're under their own control or whatever they think. All kind of junk done been exposed. Nobody got time to even play with them. Really, if I had when you in the United States, this is what they do to you, black and white. The woman has, and the white man has more control in his household. The black man has no control in his household unless you actually find a real partner that wants to marry you and work with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be ignorant and dumb, because when you go study yourself in Africa or you go visit a nice place in Asia or any other parts that didn't lose all they somewhere over there in one of them Spanish countries that didn't lose they sold and sell out, because there's a lot of sales in Africa, there's a lot of sales in Asia. I ain't saying that, just a lot more countries. Now, the woman births a child, gives life. They gotta go through it 9 months, and some people shorter than that. This is the problem with people mindset. Who's stronger? Who has to endure the most? A woman. A woman has way more to endure. Now, if you come out this form, you come out not strong as a weak link as a man, that's the pecking order of what you're gonna be in society. The way it's built up, you could work towards being a strong man eventually. Now, some people are born naturally strong, some people are born natural leaders. They are already at the top of the pecking order because how their mannerism is, how they stand out since they've been young. I don't know what people might say about me, but I never, it's up to the people to decide. Really, when you formulate yourself and you're maturing and you grow up, it's not up to you when you're what you're gonna be in society. Like I said, I had to endure a lot of hate and just I've been, man, listen, I could tell the story of when I was in elementary, the test that was going on, broad day. I don't feel like I was ever a weak link. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I never tested at the bottom. I was either at the middle or I was at the top, the middle of the top. You know what I'm saying? I never was, and I'm not a man. I'm a man. So my intellectual property was always tried. You know what I'm saying? In these institutions. So I'm not be studying. Like I don't know what people want me to tell them. That never was a weak link. My mom was a very high level intellectual. My mom is a queen. My mom will be a queen in Africa. There's not no other way to explain that. That's checked out in every box. Taking care, raising, feeding villages, whatever you want, going to get food, whatever you may, working hard. Every box will check off. My mom would never go against a village type of setting. She will never be the negative light in that village. She's a protector. She's a spokesperson for that. Like she will never go against. That's just what it is. Now, the way it's set up, black women are, when they put food stamps, when they started putting housing, when they started putting people in prison, when they put drugs and guns on the street for free, it was a test there. Now, if you went to that part, now how would you organize with these tools? Now, if you didn't do proper things with these tools, then you ended up in prison. Then you ended up getting on watch list and this list and that list because your mouth, because you ain't even supposed to be speaking that much. You know what I'm saying? As a man, this is what I was taught. You know, you have to execute the plan. You know what I'm saying? What was your plan? I'm speaking because the plan already been in motion. This is a part of my plan. This is something that I was discussed with my parents, my both parents, really. My mother, this has already been discussed for me. I never had to pick this. This is what I chose to pick at the end because people are jealous of me. People are envious of me. People are envious of what I come from. People are envious that I have real protection behind my life. This is what it is. And I'm glad I'm actually having a podcast where I'm really talking about my life. This is what this is what Dynasty the podcast is about. I don't have to sit here and talk strictly politics. I don't have to talk about sports. That is already, y'all already want that. Somebody want to be me as a coach. I ain't even reached it. I'm still in prep area. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. I don't even want to talk. I'm gonna keep it under an hour today. I like how I built this up. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I was supposed to I was supposed to put some stuff out. But we're gonna play a video. I'm gonna tell a story after I play the video. We're gonna break down the video. We're gonna go through sports real quick. So let me pull that up. I do not want to keep y'all. Playlist. All right, let's go to. All right, the one that I spoke on. Okay, this representative Jasmine Crockett, she did a lot. You know, there was floods in Texas where they on her. Representative Al Green. I watch a lot of their stuff. You know, I don't really once I get hip to you, I try not to copycat everything you say, so I don't watch every little thing they do, but I'm fans of them. I like the way they represent their state. I like the way they speak for the people because they're representative of the people. They were voted in to speak and to talk and to fend off people who are trying to take advantage of the people in their states, the people in their cities, and their towns. They be in their office, they be up there on that podium all the time. So I respect those type of people. People are in the limelight. They are doing interviews. All this stuff is a positive thing because you have to vouch for your state. You have to align your state into winning. So I like the way that they had. I like the when she did the little stunt. It wasn't a stunt. I call it a stunt because I'm not in Texas. So you know she dropped. She printed her name. You look. I think you know when you gotta copy the people that's in charge. I like that. You know when I always talk about it. That wasn't funny at the time. It ain't even funny about the situation because people passed away. So people were it was caught off guard by that flood, and some people probably couldn't swim. Some people, you know, I don't even want to talk about what they really be doing when they be like 60 people passed and we got ways to, but she wrapped some airplanes and dropped food to these people that were in the flood. It wasn't her exactly because she don't fly airplanes, but whoever sponsored her and whoever, you know, people she has money funds from when people wanted her in office and she used the funding like, hey, y'all been paid for me. I'm dropping y'all some food off. I'm probably gonna be doing other things. I'm gonna be speaking on national TV to make sure people come aid y'all and help y'all because these people were sitting there in a puddle of water, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So you know, people still were didn't get picked up or rescued. Texas is that big though, so if you know how big it is, there's a lot of land that you know. I don't even want to talk about why the land be deserted, but you know, hopefully the people got because I was up there for a month, so I got the gist of what really be going on over there in that state. And it's pretty much about the same, just a way bigger territory than Florida. You know, a lot of that stuff come from the past karma of white supremacists and Ku Klux Klan activity, and you know why areas are dead and all the people that they burned and buried. You know, people didn't get they still haven't got their reparations from those times. But that's basically how it is in Texas and Florida and a lot of deep rooted South Georgia as well. You know, people ancestors be alive and under the ground in the damn tree somewhere. All the people that they buried in them woodlands. So it's that's part of that's how I go. It might take 100 years for that body to corrode, but everybody know we come back stronger and more. And then you got to still deal with that face that you going your family took away a very valuable life just because of skin color, just because of what you want, what you would call rank and power in society. So those stuff is what and I'm glad she did that. I'm gonna play the video real quick of what she was talking on MSNBC about people not having common sense and all the way they trying to make all the new rules and regulations, which you only gonna be there for 4 years, and you might not even see nothing till the last year of your presidential still, and it's gonna be they think it's bad now. Whew. And these people not even prepared. The people that voted for this bill and the people not prepared like they think. You living on credit. You're not living on actual. I can't explain your value in America is the person. It ain't no more. It ain't that much resources left, and everybody tried to stay clean to the resources. So the only thing you have left is you. Only thing you have left is your creativity, what people want to buy, and then they created the dollar, so it's imaginary. Really, what you really doing? What? How do you do without? How do you look without? That's what the key is now. What? How do you look without? Not saying that you ain't obligated to have these things, these finer lifestyles, and whatever people may say. Because I definitely want me a nice home. I definitely want me a nice car. But I ain't really stressing about having no car collection. I ain't stressing about um having land is very important. I ain't gonna say I don't want no land. Land is very important to me. That is something I will invest in. Land, literally land. I'll have a trailer on that bed, football fields. All I can't even talk about what I gardens. Like this is real stuff. Like my family already tapped back in. Not all completely, but we tapped in enough to know that what we got to do. And hopefully I'm to the people of my ancestors that will hear this, that will feel this. They watching out for us because it's so much it's still stupid people in power. Like that much dummies, like that many dummies that actually have a say so with what's going on in Florida, in the land with resources still. You know what I'm saying? This is what be tripping me out when I be start thinking like we still got resources. I can't say all people, but some states, the Midwest, they threw the people in a whole patch of land talking about fend for you, like, and then they had put them on drugs. Then they tricked them with the old we gonna they put it right in the movies with the casinos, and they took all the money out they could see all kind of stuff they did with the natives that they called natives, but they was intertwined with the European, but it was mostly African descended people, Asian, whatever country they was intertwined with. So my hands is tied for the majority of the part. Now let's play her own clip real quick for this. This was 3 days ago. I was not there. I died. Sorry, I didn't work. Okay, basically, she broke down. This was the beginning of the situation, so I know she done done. It's been what 5 days, three. She was reporting on something that was 2 days, and her own report personally, which she had to write her notes to whoever they need to speak to about the whole change. I know it ain't gonna be a change right away, but the way that our person that's in office is like it's changed the next day. So they gotta beg for the money that is already supposed to be there. That's basically what she is reporting on. This is basically what it is talking about. Now I don't mind them two speaking. They gotta play both sides because they're reporting. They're like me. I can't even what's y'all what's I'm on for real, but I have to report, I have to give honest opinions. I cannot be one-sided minds track. I'm not gonna say the other side too much, but I will don't mind putting them people out in the when they sound a little hanging trees. I like to say it like that. Swinging from trees, hanging from trees. So it's like you just gotta make the people understand that you gotta change the mind of people that's not in authority. Basically, what I'm trying to say. It's too many people that just go along because of the skin color things. It's not it really doesn't resonate with me well when they still have that one check mindset. That is a big problem. So no, these people, this is the three different races that's in front of me. So or nations that's in front of me while I was speaking. So I like the diversity and different opinions. Now, what she was saying, let's get back to what she was saying. If you can help Texas right now, that the it's still hurricane season. Here in Florida, we gotta prepare ourselves for all. What they say? I think it would start saying it's already hurt. It ends in November, I think. So we've been blessed. We have not had real serious deaths and we had damage in Florida, but we pretty prepared. We know how to get in position. I think last year I was actually down in my home county during the time of hurricane, and I got caught in one. And I'm not intimidated by it at all. I know what it actually is, so I went to one of the local high schools and sat there for the hurricane. They like the it's so crazy. They exaggerate a lot of stuff when the older you get, the more you know. But I was never blindfolded about natural disasters. So it's all about how much they could scare the people in the state or the community. And if you're a real Floridian, no fears, they got to do a tsunami before, to scare a Floridian about a storm. So, hopefully that don't happen. Hopefully these people who call themselves New World Leaders or whatever they calling themselves now. Don't get no ideas to mess up Florida that bad. I know how to swim, but the pressure could kill a lot of people. Children are still, can have panic situations if something was to happen. So, my mindset is positive, not that to happen. I'm not on the other side of the Mother Nature works for me, not against me. That's what side I'm on. So whatever that may be, don't, natural, meaning you're not God. So it got to be God that make these decisions, or if it's a wildfire, or if it's a tsunami. We don't need nobody putting their little gadgets involved to have rain, to have some, to create to create a situation. So let's make sure y'all be mindful of that when it comes to the real life, real world stuff. Now, I played the clip from Stacey Abrams when she was on Jimmy Kimmel. She kind of went into more details on MSNBC about the auto. She called it auto crop. The book, she's promoting her book. I don't really want to play that. I think the Texas flood is very important right now, so hopefully y'all go out there and help them. I'm definitely on the side of wanting to help community. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot of being underplayed. I could tell the energy behind it. I'm not playing nothing that the person that called it. So, they did their little stunt with their little going to visit Texas as a family, and I don't even know what that was about. It had nothing to do with helping the state. So, they, I don't know. I'm not putting that energy into that. We talked about I informed y'all, talked about the executive orders. I talked about, the Texas flood. Now let's go right into sports. I'm not going to talk too much political stuff. We got stuff coming for tomorrow. I could talk way more, but just do your own research. I don't want to give too much opinions on this stuff. And we're going to go right into what happened with the football team. I could not remember what I was talking about. Basically, they told me I was going to be head coach when I signed up, at the time. But they had this white woman and this black man, they over this program now. They're the president and vice president. I walk in, the lady was like, "Are you president?" And then he was like, and then they had this weirdo energy about, the kids doing the weigh in. I'm not. People know how I operate. I'm not. Once I'm in a city or town, I look at it just in a one big neighborhood. I don't look at it as I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. I don't look at it like I already got a footprint over there. I don't have to. I graduated from that city. Like I graduated from that area in Pinellas County. I don't need no other stamp or signature of where I'm from. I was born there. I graduated high school there. I went to college there for a year or half a year. What else do I need to say? What else do I need to do for y'all to even I'm not even trying to combat with nobody about where I'm from. My grandfather, like they stayed there 20, 30, 40 years. Like the footprint of where I was born at is one of the biggest footprints, like if not the biggest. I'm not even lying. And I ain't being funny because I've been around a lot of strong people in that area. So I ain't dissing nobody. I don't understand, And then when I come here, it shouldn't be disrespect. I got my own footprint on this side of the water. I've been coaching for several years, 15 plus 16 years. What is there to say? The coaches of the year, assistant of the year, whatever y'all want to call head coach of the year, assistant of the year. That's how it really is. If your coach went head coach of the year, your assistant is the assistant of the year. That's literally what it is. So I've been deemed one of the best. I don't know what year. I don't get that. So when it comes to little leagues disrespecting my face, like I ain't trained half of them players that I coached. They came from that league to the school that I was coaching at the time in the beginning, and they all was successful. So I'm trying to figure out what I didn't come here on no I just wanted to be a head coach and really coach my nephew for the first year because I feel like if I just coach him 1 year, I will let him. He'll have the knowledge he needs to continue or not continue. That's basically what it is. Like that's all it was. I don't really like know what the energy behind people trying to control me in this county, but just stop. You're stupid. You're dumb. Whatever word for stupid and dumb, you're everything in the book because I don't really know who you are. You're imaginary, but you're putting all these trying to put all these um pit stops and roadblocks in front of me to stop me. But it's like y'all been doing that since I've been in this area since I was 15 years old when I moved to Boca. When y'all gonna leave me alone? Like I got my family too big for me to if I was to sit around my relatives and formulate a plan to take over the state, it could have happened. It could have happened. It would have been a landslide win. It wouldn't have even been close. We would have been dominating. And y'all would have looked at us enemies of the state because we're hanging together. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what it would have been. It wouldn't have been that negative, but we hanging together. We got too many women. We doing it too big or something. It would have been something lame and petty. You know what I'm talking about? So like it was already formulating that since we were little kids, little children. Like they was already hating. That's where it come from. These people call themselves being. We already was that big. Like I don't know what to tell everybody. Like I really get agitated just thinking about it, and I really don't. I don't even like speaking like that. But it's just like I'm just happy my child. It's more women in my family. It still ain't easy being a woman, but it's like they get a little bit more breathing room to be who they going want to be in life. It ain't difficult. The older they get, it gets harder and harder. But you still got a lot of protection. You still got a lot of people with knowledge of your lineage and, passing it down and continuing to be, how yourself represented properly on your choice. So, that's a good thing about it. You gotta make sure the young men in our family are protected because it's still hate and envy out there. So, and jealousy and greed and I don't know. I can't think of any other words. So hopefully things clear up. I don't like fighting for I ain't fighting for no respect and nothing out here on no street cred. But it's just like it's so obvious the path that I chose, and I'm not never folding on people that care about me, that honestly care about me, not no. What I'm saying? I can't fold on that type. I never, this is like when you become a true, when you have true friends, it's like an agreement you don't have to say. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm be lost with people and I ain't talking about no pranking and joking and cracking. That's petty to me. That's something that I don't look at, that does not bother me. Like, look, I got Chuck too. Like, what? Crack on it. Like, I'm gonna laugh with you. Like, that's how I always been. So, I don't know, man. I be looking at it like that. All right, I talked about politics, sports, WNBA. Yeah, that's what I watched. The game I watched was they played tonight too. Minnesota Lynx game on Saturday. I watched that game. It was very, very entertaining. No, I'm not gonna talk about it. It's a lot going on. It's like I looked it up. Okay, I watched the game. I told you I like the young teams. I'm not as young as I used to be, but I've been a fan of WNBA. I remember watching the inaugural game in the weekend, and it was like a family event. So it was very nice. I remember that like the back of my hand. Like what it was 98, 90. What I feel like it was 98. But yeah, it was very nice watching that. Was it 98, 99? I can't remember. But it was a family I was old enough to, all my relatives on my father's side was there, for the majority of the part. And it was like a family gathering cookout. And it was nice, So I always been a fan. I didn't, they did not do a good job of putting their games on or promoting it. And I was still young, so I didn't know when they came on. And I still was definitely watched the NBA heavier, way more heavier during that time. it might have been 2000. I don't think it was 2000. I feel like it was 98, 99. Well, whatever. But yeah, the girls, shout out to them. On that Minnesota game where Chicago was big. I don't know if Minnesota gonna make a playoff run. I think they're on like a 3 out of the last 5 games they won 4 or something like that. They got Minnesota again tonight. I'm gonna try to check it out if they're showing it on TV. So hopefully they do, and I can watch that. I watched some of the summer league games. I think Friday I watched the Cooper Flag versus Brendan James matchup. I like the way I feel like Brendan did a great job defensively on Cooper Flag. I like that he's getting better at playing bigger opponents. He always been pretty good. He always been a really good defender. So my thing with him, I'm gonna critique his game real quick. He's doing a lot better job of just letting it flow. Like he's naturally he's not as tall as his father or his brother, but he's still a legitimate point guard. My thing with him is, his dad was such a prolific scorer and slasher, and it was easy for him to get buckets early in his career. He was getting 25, waking up. He already had 15 by just fast breaks and dunks. He getting 10 to 15 points. And he would have got more if he was a 90 to 80% free throw shooter. So those, he was the average 3 free throw shooter in the beginning. I think he was close to, he don't go as many times as he used to, so he's still probably closer to 80 based off the, what is it called, the analytic. He mostly closer to 80 side than it is 70, even though he might say 70 because he don't go as many times as he used to. Now, when it comes down to, and he shoots 3 points better, so I look at it like you can't really compare. I think Bryce gonna get compared way more, but his game is a mixture of, he's very technically sound as a shooter, so he could easily average 20 to 30 in the league. But Carmelo's son and Gilbert Arenas' son in college, they freshmen next year, and they all was 5 stars. Well, I think they gave Bryce 3 stars, but he's LeBron's son though. And they in Arizona, so he probably gonna get a lot of playing time going against Gilbert Arenas' son. I forgot it. That's crazy. It made me forget his name. I was just looking at the clip on TikTok of him practicing. I'm happy they all in some of the biggest schools. They all pretty much, Arizona, USC, Syracuse. They all big name schools. So I want to see all them play. Then you got Masterpiece son at Houston. They was a top 3 team in the country last year. I like that star power on the basketball court. I want to see what all of them do. So I'm gonna be looking out for all 4 of them. And I'm not being like I come from a time where you have a favorite athlete and you got a favorite team. And I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm speaking like I'm still gonna check the Lakers out. Now I'm definitely a Philly fan. I was all Philly, Lakers, Philly, Magic, T-Mac, Houston, Steve French, all these teams down in the South, and then that one West Coast team, East Coast, Knicks. I checked out a lot of Knicks games. Charles Sprewell, Marcus Houston. Did I say that right? Allen Houston, correction. Mark Houston is their singer. Celtics, Paul Pierce, KG came after Timberwolves. I watched a lot of Timberwolves games. But, they got Anthony Edwards, those are teams that, when the Sacramento Kings had Vlade Divac, Peja Stojakovic, Doug Christie, Chris Webber, they was balling. You feel me? So that was a good time of basketball, man. I'm just, Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller, Jalen Rose. It's just, you can go down the list. There was a lot of star power going on. And it's still a lot of star power, but that's what youth-wise, young me watching. And I'm like, it was, I talk about Kobe. I'm like, that's my favorite athlete still. And then I was so in tune with learning the game. Like I I'm pretty sharp with the game, but I know the politics of it. So it's real life out here, and they made everything. I got to go outside. They made TV way different. You can't even watch a game. I really just want to watch. I'm just happy. Look, the funniest, the funniest thing is they've literally made it difficult to watch regular TV. How do you make regular TV difficult to watch? All I want to do is watch CBS and NFL, CBS and ABC. This is the only thing I really want to watch right now. Even now, I can't even watch Jeopardy every night because it's a blue screen. You put an antenna in there, it's still the blue screen. They got blackouts for antennas now. Come on, man. I can't even make this up. So, like I said, football coming. We don't even have a TV. Look, TV has been excommunicated. The only thing you got is your phone, and you got to pay for that. I ain't gonna lie. My cousin had put me on beat with the free. You could watch free sports shows, games, and I'm so mad because we not around each other right now, and you can't really say that joke out loud. You only can give it to one. You got to get something out one time. And when he gave it to me, he was like, that's only a one-time thing that I can mention it and copy, So I was laughing about it. Him actually, that's how me and him is. I don't want him to keep telling me the dang old thing. But you can't just pass out these free things because people be jealous. Like people try to put you in some old, how they got it. It's like cryptic. So it was a real good it's a real good what you call it. He was on his phone, so I'm like, hey, he got it. But they actually had to, I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, it's ways to get around that. Them having bad connections to regular TV. I guess that's the new wave. But yeah. Hopefully this year I get it fixed out. I do not like going to bars. I don't drink alcohol too often. I think look, I've never had a drinking problem. So me having a beer just to sit in the bar, not a big deal. Me personally, my discipline of not wanting to drink is big deal. I don't fiend for alcohol. You know what I'm saying? But if I sit down and play a free game of poker, they want you to spin at the bar, so you just it don't be considered, you just enjoying your time at the bar watching the game. So, that's how you get your chips. It's not that big of a deal. So just to have fun competing. And I look at that, I look at that's the way, you don't want to be going in there and not, being an oddball out. So I don't indulge too much. But I try my best to stay away from that. I talk about that, if you're watching in my previous stuff about why I choose not to indulge. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Today, okay, that's it for sports. Okay, my bad. Yesterday, the LA Sparks, they won. Seattle lost to Washington Mystics. I seen that. I didn't see it. I just seen the score. I want to talk about it. Washington Mystics is already in the playoff. They already in the playoffs. It's record wise. So they're a couple game over 500 now. They'll beat some tough teams in the last week. I think that team is very dangerous. When a team could come out of nowhere and beat anybody, they're putting it together. That's a young team that was put together very nice by that GM and that organization. So Washington Mystics, I hope I could go watch y'all game when I go down there. Hopefully I can afford it. My pockets ain't as my resources and my pockets ain't as deep as everybody else. But hopefully I can catch one of y'all games. I would like to see, because I'm very big on people who great defense, people who got a good post game, play the basketball the old school way, because that's really how women's game. If you watch if you watch the older, I'm talking about the older, besides the real guards that are Hall of Famers, they got a real old school vibe to the women's game when they first, even some of the teams did. And this they give me a very technical sound type of team, old school vibe. They're not really up and down. They just, run plays based off they, post entry, finding the pick and roll off to get the shots open, getting open shots, taking correct shots, slowing the tempo down. And I only watched a few of their games, but I know what type of style they already doing. And the girls are still athletic and young, so I'm not saying they can't play the upper sound. You never know what type of players they're going to get in the drafts in the next coming few years and how their guards are going to develop. So I see that their scores are always in the lower in the 70s, in the 80s to 60 range most of the time. So this, Atlanta got a potent offense. Seattle could have a potent offense when they're all clicking. Definitely Minnesota's got a potent offense. I seen, and then you see Asia Wilson just dropped 30 points back-to-back games. She's getting back in form as an MVP self. It's gonna be very dangerous in the playoffs. They just won 2 games straight as well. So, that's a little bit of, WNBA. Make sure y'all support the women. I'll definitely try to watch, and I watched a lot of games this year. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not definitely not the super fan that goes to every game in it. Cause do Florida has a team yet? Florida don't have a team, I don't think. So no, not a big deal if I don't. But yeah, check them out. NFL's coming. There's what? Hall of Fame coming in 3 Hall of Fame game in 3 weeks. Bucks. I already did my I'm waiting for the preseason game to really break some stuff down. They gotta do cuts. They gotta still sign, make fine tune who they want to break the camp, all that stuff. So I ain't really reporting on that. Anybody who, mad NCAA, I still can't afford a game system yet. Somebody don't send me a game to my house, man. You don't play a game system. Your Xbox will suffice or a PlayStation. I don't really want to play the PS4. I want to play the PS5. Somebody donate me a PS5. I actually want to get back on the field as a gamer, so I gotta actually invest in that. It's gonna be fun when I start back playing them for real, man. Like I be laughing about it, just thinking about me playing. When I get my PlayStation 5 or Xbox, I'm gonna be so Madden, NCAA. That's all I'm gonna be playing, and then I'm gonna try my best to get on Call of Duty. I really like Call of Duty. Give me this weird energy that I gotta actually be in the game type of energy. Like you gotta be communicating with people. I don't downloaded this battle app stuff that the zombie attack whatever junk they be doing on it. I downloaded it. I played that junk for like 10 hours yesterday. And probably more than that. So, it ain't no big deal. I'm not gonna be on the phone like that. I don't see myself being on the app too much. But I like the gist of just starting real. It's funny to indulge in that. But yeah, that's it. Today we talked a lot of stuff, a lot of important stuff. So I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer. This went long enough. I did not know I was over an hour. But nah, man, shout out to y'all. That's it for today. We talk sports, we talk politics. I don't have much to say. I didn't even get into. I have to talk real life every day and stuff going on every day in my life, and it ain't nothing perfect. So I try to be as authentic as possible. So that's pretty much it. This is Dynasty the Podcast Show. I'm your host, Ira Bush. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all for tuning in.